Many years ago, there lived an emperor who loved new clothes. His ambition was to always be well dressed, and he spent all his money to make sure that he looked fashionable. He did not care for anything else. One day, 2 swindlers arrived at his city. They told people that they were weavers and declared they could manufacture the finest cloth imaginable. They claimed that the cloth was not only exceptionally beautiful, but that the clothes made from their material possessed the wonderful quality of being invisible to any man who was unfit for his office or unpardonably stupid. When the emperor learned of this, he immediately began to covet this magnificent cloth. "If I were dressed in a suit made of this cloth, I should be able to find out which men in my empire are unfit for their places, and I could distinguish the clever from the stupid." He gave a large sum of money to the swindlers in advance, so they could begin weaving without delay. They set up looms and pretended to be very hard at work, but they were actually creating nothing. They asked for the finest silk and the most precious gold cloth. All they received was sequestered away, while they continued to work at the empty looms. The emperor began to grow curious and wished to know how they were getting on with the cloth. But he felt uneasy when he remembered that he who was not fit for his office could not see it. Personally, he was certain he had nothing to fear. Yet he thought it advisable to send somebody else first to see how matters stood. "I shall send my minister to the weavers," thought the emperor. "He can judge best how the stuff looks, for he is intelligent, and nobody understands his office better than he." The good minister went into the room where the swindlers sat before the empty looms. "Heaven preserve us," he thought. "I cannot see anything at all." But he did not say so. The swindlers asked him what he thought of the exquisite pattern and the beautiful colors. The poor minister tried his very best, but he could see nothing, for there was nothing to be seen. The minister worried that because he could not see the cloth, it might be possible that he was either stupid or unfit for his office. But he did not want to admit this to the swindlers. "Oh, it is very pretty, exceedingly beautiful," replied the minister. "What a beautiful pattern! What brilliant colors! I shall tell the emperor that I like the cloth very much." "We are pleased to hear that," said the 2 weavers, and described to him the colors and explained the curious pattern. The minister listened attentively, that he might relate to the emperor what they said. Now, the swindlers asked for more money, silk, and gold cloth, which they required for weaving. They kept everything for themselves and continued to work at the empty looms. Soon, the emperor sent another honest courtier to the weavers to see how they were getting on and if the cloth was nearly finished. What? Like the minister, he looked and looked, but could see nothing, as there was nothing to be seen. "Is it not a beautiful piece of cloth?" asked the 2 swindlers, showing and explaining the magnificent pattern, which, however, did not exist. The man knew he was not stupid, so he figured he must be unfit for his appointment. He chose not to reveal this to anyone. He praised the cloth and told the emperor that it was quite excellent. As news of the cloth spread around the town, the emperor grew impatient and decided that he would see it himself, while it was still on the loom. "Is it not magnificent?" said the 2 statesmen who had been there before. "Your Majesty must admire the colors and the pattern." And then they pointed to the empty loom, for they imagined the others could see the cloth. "What is this?" thought the emperor. "I do not see anything at all. This is terrible. Am I stupid? Am I unfit to be emperor? That would be dreadful." "Your cloth has our most gracious approval," he said, and nodded contentedly at the empty loom. He did not want to admit that he saw nothing. All his attendants looked and looked, and although they could not see anything more than the others, they said it was very beautiful, and all advised him to wear the new magnificent clothes at a great procession which was soon to take place. The swindlers pretended to work the whole night before the procession, and in the morning they declared that the suit was ready. "These are the trousers," they said. "This is the coat. And here is the cloak. They are all light as cobweb, and you will feel as if you have nothing on at all. But that is just the beauty of them." The courtiers nodded in agreement, but they could not see anything, for there was nothing to be seen.
Okay.
"Does it please your majesty now to graciously undress," said the swindlers, "so that may we assist your majesty in putting on the new suit?" The emperor undressed, and the swindlers pretended to put the new suit upon him. The emperor looked at himself in the mirror. Everyone around him declared how well the clothes fit and how fine they looked.
Ooh, how fine they look. Ah, yes.
The emperor pretended to admire his garments in the looking-glass. Then the master of ceremonies announced that the procession was about to begin. The chamberlains pretended to lift the train of the cloak in their hands. They did not like people to know that they could not see anything. The emperor marched in the procession, and all who saw him in the street exclaimed, "Indeed, the emperor's new suit is incomparable! What a long train he has! How well it fits him!" Nobody wished to let others know they saw nothing, for then they would be seen as stupid or unfit for their jobs.
Just say you see something.
"But he has nothing on at all," said a little child at last.
What?
"Good heavens! Listen to the voice of an innocent child," said the mother,
He has nothing
and
on.
one whispered to the other what the child had said.
Oh my goodness, he's naked.
"But he has nothing on at all," cried at last the whole people.
Oh no,
This made a deep impression upon the emperor, for he realized that they were right.
he's naked.
But he thought to himself, "Now I must bear up to the end."
Not wearing any clothes at all.
And the chamberlains continued to walk with dignity, as if they carried the train which did not exist.